This is what you need to know now. Millions across the Northeast digging out after the historic blizzard. President Trump set to deliver his State of the Union. Iran and tariffs in the spotlight. ABC News obtains text linking Texas Congressman Tony Gonzales to an alleged affair. Pressure growing on Capitol Hill. The mother and grief author on trial, accused of killing her husband. Body cam footage played for the jury.
We didn't just die in his sleep. This is insane.
Plus, how Lindsey Vonn says her Olympics injury could have been much worse. We have much more what you need to know now. I'm James Longman from ABC News. It's Tuesday, February 24th, and this is what you need to know. We'll show you Nick Reiner in court charged in his parents' killing, and Ukraine marks 4 years since Russia invaded. But first, the big story. The historic blizzard that paralyzed the Northeast finally winding down, but it has left huge amounts of snow behind, and dangerous conditions across the region remain. The storm dumped more than 3 feet of snow in parts of Rhode Island, setting a new record, and over 30 inches fell throughout Massachusetts. Matt Rivers is in Boston.
James, even by the high standards here in New England, a place that is not unfamiliar with snow, this has been a storm to be remembered. We've seen wind gusts topping 70 miles an hour. Blowing snow continues to be an issue. The snow basically coming down sideways. Even though the storm is really slowing down, we're expecting this blowing snow to continue to make driving conditions very hazardous for people across the eastern coast. Just because the storm is not completely over does not mean that it still doesn't pack a punch.
In Mexico, officials say a love interest led them to the hideout of the drug lord known as El Mencho. He was killed by government forces Sunday with the help of the United States. Mexico's defense secretary says they found him by following his mistress to a hidden cabin. The wave of violence unleashed by his cartel that followed his death has left American tourists stranded, but some flights have now started leaving Guadalajara and Puerto Vallarta. The former British ambassador to the US has been released from custody. Peter Mandelson was arrested yesterday on suspicion of misconduct in public office for allegedly passing UK government information to sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Mandelson is not facing allegations of sexual misconduct. The former Prince Andrew was arrested last week. The DOJ files indicate he too may have passed on sensitive information to Epstein. Neither man has commented publicly on their arrest. Text messages provided to ABC News appear to show Texas Congressman Tony Gonzales pursuing a relationship with a female staffer more than a year before she died by suicide. The messages from May 2024 show Gonzales, a married father of 6, requesting explicit photos and discussing sexual topics. ABC News has confirmed Gonzales has been under investigation by the Office of Congressional Conduct and is expected to forward a report to the House Ethics Committee after his upcoming primary. The Gonzales campaign has not responded to requests for comment on the text messages, though he has repeatedly denied engaging in an affair with the aide. Some Republican lawmakers are now calling on him to resign. House Speaker Mike Johnson says investigations should be allowed to play out. Officials say Secretary of State Marco Rubio will brief congressional lawmakers on Iran Wednesday afternoon. In recent days, the president has said he is considering a limited strike on Iran while the U.S. continues building its forces in the region. The president is also pushing back on reports that Joint Chiefs Chairman General Dan Kane warned against a strike. Trump called those reports 100% incorrect. The White House insists the president wants a deal, but warns Iran it could be a very bad day if one is not reached. And President Trump is set to deliver a State of the Union address tonight. From a Supreme Court showdown over tariffs to rising tensions with Iran, a lot is on the line. Mary Bruce has more.
James, the president will step into the chamber and make his case to skeptical voters now just 7 months before the midterm elections. This is likely to be the largest national audience he will have to sell his policies and test run the Republican message. But our latest poll shows he's facing real challenges. He has a 60% disapproval rating. Voters we know want the president to focus on the economy and the cost of living. Trump has taken ownership of the economy, saying he's, quote, won affordability. He is likely to tout his policies and urge Americans that they are working. We will also be watching closely the tone in the room. It is sure to be tense, and not just between Republicans and Democrats. The president has been railing against the Supreme Court justices after they ruled against his tariffs, calling their decision, quote, dumb and ridiculous. But they will be right there in the front row, though President Trump has said he couldn't care less. if they come.
And stay with ABC News streaming for the State of the Union address. Our powerhouse political team will have full coverage of tonight's address. Prosecutors say they have not decided whether to seek the death penalty for Nick Reiner, the son of Hollywood legend Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle. That statement followed Nick Reiner's not guilty plea in the murders of his parents. Trevor Alt is in Los Angeles with the latest.
Well, James, for the first time since he was taken into custody more than 2 months ago, we have now seen Nick Reiner on camera appearing in court as he has finally now entered a plea to the charges that he murdered his parents, Rob and Michelle Reiner. Nick Reiner only spoke in court when he was asked to confirm that he was okay waiving his right to a speedy preliminary hearing. Reiner is accused of killing both parents. According to sources, they say he stabbed both of his parents to death. The night before, we know that Nick Reiner and his father, according to sources, were at Conan O'Brien's holiday party. They were seen having an argument. Nick Reiner was described as acting strangely. Now, despite this not guilty plea, it is still possible that Reiner could change that plea to not guilty by reason of insanity. We know he has a well-documented history of mental health and substance abuse issues. He is due back in court in April.
The murder trial of Corey Richins is now underway. The Utah mother of 3 is accused of fatally poisoning her husband with fentanyl, then self-publishing a children's book about grief after his death. Prosecutors allege she spiked his drink after an earlier failed attempt and say she was in financial distress while having an affair. A responding deputy's body cam video was played in court.
I just thought he was cold. It was cold in there, so I put the blanket on him. Yeah. But his body just felt like heavy, and
Richins has pleaded not guilty. The trial is scheduled to last up to 5 weeks. Richins is also facing more than 24 charges in a separate case, alleging she committed mortgage fraud, money laundering, and issuing bad checks. And we have much more what you need to know. Now, to take 3, the stories that you'll be talking about today. Number 3, a familiar name might ring a bell in the world of car racing. 13-year-old Keelan Harvick is following in his father's footsteps by signing a driver development deal with Toyota. He's the son of former racer Kevin Harvick, who won 63 NASCAR races in his career. The young driver has already found plenty of success, becoming the youngest ever winner at the Snowflake 125 Speedway in Florida. Number 2, US skier Lindsey Vonn has revealed she almost lost her leg in that Olympics crash, thanking the Team USA surgeon for saving it. Vonn crashed in the Olympic downhill, shattering multiple leg bones and breaking her ankle. In a video online, she also details a complex procedure that relieved pressure in her injured leg. Vonn says if she hadn't ruptured a knee ligament days before the Olympics, Dr. Tom Hackett would not have been around to perform that surgery, and she likely would have lost her leg. She expects it to be around a year for her bones to heal. And finally, number 1, the 2026 Met Gala is just around the corner, and the theme has been announced as costume art, with the corresponding dress code, Fashion is Art. It encourages designers to use the body as a blank canvas and meant to bridge the gap between fashion and fine art. It will take place, as always, on the same Monday in May, with the co-chairs this year including Beyoncé, Venus Williams, and Nicole Kidman. And new today, it is 4 years to the day since Russia launched its invasion of Ukraine, and fierce fighting continues. Moscow still occupies roughly 20% of Ukrainian territory, and even though advances have largely stalled, the human toll is immense. One estimate puts Russian casualties, that's dead or wounded, at 1.2 million, with Ukraine suffering between 500 to 600,000. Russian attacks on energy infrastructure pound Ukraine almost daily, while Ukraine has focused its attacks more recently on Russian oil production. The White House has called recent talks productive, but there is no sign of the war coming to an end. And now, one more thing before you go. Time is running short to see one of nature's most spectacular annual events. It's called the Yosemite Firefall, when a seasonal waterfall on the face of El Capitan appears to be made of fire. In reality, it's caused by the setting sun hitting the cascading water just right. Yosemite National Park officials say the year's best opportunities to see the firefall end on Thursday. And that's what you need to know for breaking news and live updates throughout the day. Check out ABC News streaming on Disney+. New episodes streaming every day on Disney+.